Hi guys, welcome to yet another wonderful episode on this space. I'm your also the most of Baby, and I'm joined with, I will let him introduce himself. Yeah.
I am Makindolu Adam Larry.
Yeah. He's a renowned fashion designer. Multi-talented. Like there is nothing he can't do actually. Or am I wrong?
You are wrong. I can't cause God.
Ooh. Yeah, that's not
right. But there's nothing professional I cannot do.
Okay, so this week there was quite a stir on social media, on Twitter, on Instagram, you name it. It was quite a buzz because one particular celebrity, posted something that triggered the whole community. Whether they are Christian or pagan or atheist. Once they saw that post, they're like, oh, really? So this post, Fowles, the bad guy, Femi Falana's son, Fowles, he posted that fornication is not a sin. And that has caused quite a stir. Even people that believe otherwise are skeptical with it. They are confused now. And that's what we want to set the record straight on this, conversation today. So what are your thoughts when you saw that post? Style saying fornication is not a sin. What came to mind?
When I actually saw it, what came to my mind was, my guy is high on something. I wouldn't know if he was high on alcohol, it was high. Maybe Holy Spirit. I don't know if Holy Spirit can hide somebody.
He was just frustrated.
Or something. There was something he was going through that happened to be on the excess. I can say that.
Being single for too long.
Excess must be at the back of whatever he was going through. If it's from the single aspect of his life, maybe he has been single for too long. If it is from the angle of feeding, he has ate too much. If it was from the aspect of drinking, he has drank too much. Something was not just balanced, about that. Because I wouldn't know why somebody like Fowles, being a public figure, and being a public figure, it's cuts across a lot of things.
Yeah.
What you say could actually shape culture. It can shape a whole lot of things. So you have followers, you have people who sees you as a role model. So for somebody like Fowles to say that, we wouldn't know what he had in mind, but for him to post that, he has, to a reasonable extent, to me, in my opinion, he has misled a lot of people. Because some people will believe, that's true now. I have been thinking about it too. So fornication, it is not arguable. It is not arguable. It's a standard, biblical standard, moral standard. Fornication is a sin. I can say that with my full dry chest. Yeah.
Well, I checked the comment sections. People were trying to defend it in a way.
Yeah, people's opinion. They have right to their opinions, and they can feel free. There's freedom of speech. I can tell you, Tinubu is not Nigerian president. And from another angle, you can perceive it and say, yes, that's true. It's not Nigerian president. So, but the reality is the reality. When we are talking about history, Tinubu has already made it in history that, okay, Nigeria president. So, what are we saying? Regardless of what Fowles say, there is a standard.
Yeah.
Fornication is a sin. We can quote it in the Bible. Well, is it 1 Corinthians 6:19, Galatians 5:18? They stated it clear. When you're talking about immoralities and all, fornication is part of it. So why can we say it is not the same?
Flee fornication. There's a reason why even Joseph fled.
He fled. See, fornication is one thing that is so powerful in the Bible. I can say fornication is more powerful than the devil. Because
fornication, as it destroys. For what I know, that fornication destroys. So that is why it was tagged a sin, because it can pull a man down.
Do you know that when the Bible was talking, when the Bible was instructing Christians about the devil and fornication, he said, resist the devil and we will flee. But if you can resist the devil and it will flee, why can't you resist fornication? You, when it comes to fornication, resist yourself, run, badly delay.
Have some self-discipline.
So what I don't know what fouls could mean, but then
Yeah.
you have to set the standard right. Fornication,
Especially for the young ones.
for the young ones, yes, it is a sin, because it is not even a sin to God alone. It is a sin to your personal self.
Our
Yeah.
body is the temple of the Holy Spirit.
Let's even leave Holy Spirit.
Even
Let us even leave Holy Spirit. Even
Morally.
to you, morally.
health-wise.
That's why. Why will you be jumping from one person to another? It's all wrong, man. Brother Falari.
But also, there was someone that was saying that if you have one partner, even if you're not married and you have one partner, you guys are having that, fornicating, like having sexual together, it is not, at least they are pure, they are not going to attract maybe STIs or whatnot.
All these things are actually coming from our knowledge about the Western world. This thing, we know, regardless of what they may bring to us, we know what we carry. So even those who are doing it knows that it is wrong, because it will get to a point. There are some people who are doing it and they will always try as much as possible to avoid pregnancy. Pregnancy, according to the will of God, should be something we rejoice about.
It should even be in the confines of marriage.
I don't even want to go into that part.
Baby mamas because of fornication.
Sure, you understand? Even though I don't want to go into that aspect, the moment you are not married to somebody and the person tells you, babe, I missed my period, your heart will first. You understand? So if it is not a sin, why are you first
scared? Why you always jumping?
So we have to just face the reality and make it clear. Either we like it or not. Whatever is not good is not good. Are we all doing what is right? No. Are we all doing what is wrong? No. So whatever is not good is not good. So you may choose to do what is good. You may choose to do what is not good, but let us always set the standard. Moral standard is really, really important. Very, very important.
So to convince our viewers further that fornication is indeed a sin, how should tell them the red flags of fornication, the bad sides of fornication.
Like I said earlier, anything you are doing, that when you see the results, your heart will do like, what will people say? The moment you are doing that thing, just know that you are on the wrong path.
It's like eating the forbidden apple. I remember in secondary school that those that ate the forbidden apple, they came up with a 9 months gift. And it was a thing of shame because they told that part because they fornicated. That's
even though maybe after some years you start bragging about it, yes, I'm a proud mother of Kinoko, but that period, the both with you. Ask people that have been through that line, they will tell you. So, and you don't want to be there as well. Oh no, you see all those Gen Zs on social media.
Gen Zs actually
they are saying yes.
Their thoughts right now is fornication. Anybody can fornicate away.
Is the result that will change their mind. Everybody doing the wrong thing always wants a validation, especially from a public figure, from a respected person. So if you accept this validation as fornication not being a sin, when you go through it and you see the consequences, because it's not one consequence, it's consequences. So when it eats you, you will actually come to the reality of what fornication actually is, and maybe people coming after you will learn from you if you cannot learn from others.
I mean, fornication has done more harm than good. I remember Samson in the Bible, his hair was cut because, he did what not. Even David, because his eyes was not in one place, was jumping from one woman to another. And Solomon, so
funny enough, I love these people that you reference now. You see, despite fornication had a lot to do in their life, they were still people we respect in the Bible. So the fact that you actually committed fornication doesn't mean people will now nail you on the cross. They will not nail you on the cross. Areloa, it is on your body. It is between you and God. The Samson, we all know. We all know what ended Samson. David himself, even as he happened to be the apple of God's eyes, still on still he collects. Who else again did you mention? Solomon, Chief Daddy. He himself, you know, they ended in a way, and then they collected. Even though we still respect them as should I call them prophets or ministers or I don't know, but they are in the Bible and we can reference to them. They have good side of them, even though that part is not really good to write them about.
So fornication is a no-no for you guys thinking, oh, let me go eat up that girl or let me go to that boy's house. It's a no-no. It's really done more harm than good, even socially and security-wise. We hear some girls going to visit people that they've not even met before, and spending the night or going to the club and going home with a guy, and at the end of the day, they use them for ritual purposes or they contact HIV or STIs or what have you not. So fornication in every way
is a sin. Abstain from fornication by all means. Yes. And if you find yourself, you know, we always say, there's this prayer in the Lord's Prayer. They say, lead us not into temptation. But if you eventually find yourself in temptation, be open to help. So ask you can still ask from God, deliver us from evil. So that's
save me or don't let me go walk into the temptation. Exactly. So fornication is a sin. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.